Hello, guys. As you may have been aware, we had a Banlist released 2 days ago, which will be in effect on Monday, the 14th of October. This unfortunately changes a couple of things about the idlee Kristya build, and in short, the build is no longer viable because you cannot use Mermaid to special summon the idlee to get the free fourth fairy. But Kristya Nekroz is still a complete thing. Over the over the course of the last day, I have been trying to fix the issue. Unfortunately, I could not find a combo that is as efficient as the idlee combo, but I found a couple of ways to play around having the least amount of bricks to do all the combos while having the most consistency possible to resolve your win condition, which is Kristya. Also, I wanted to release a video about Kristya Nekroz build where you can completely smokescreen in and out the Kristya engine. This is still possible, and I will show you how to do it. It was more optimal in the last build, but without further talking about what was and now no longer is, let's get into the build. Let's start with the main deck. So for the Nekroz engine, we play one Trishul, one Valkyrus, one Nekroz of Unicorn, two Klausulas, and two Brionax. This is the standard Nekroz lineup for the Kristya build. Nothing has changed here. And nothing will change unless we get Unicorn back to 3, in which case we may up the count to 2 or 3, depending on how it tests in this version of the build. In the idlee Kristya version, we would have easily played 3 because it would have facilitated the combo way easier. But I guess it will also do the same thing in this build. So yeah, this is pretty standard. Brionax searches, Klausulas searches, and Unicorn is combo enabler. And those two are just the tools that you can use. You still can do all the Valkyrie shenanigans with the Kristya. And this will be really nice if you want to substitute the Vanities ruler that usually everyone would be playing. That has the budget to buy themselves a pot of extravagance. I still think this version is a little bit superior to that because this combo is still more consistent than the ruler stuff. But now you actually have a good reason. If you want to play a very balanced deck between going first and second, I would recommend you to play the ruler list. But if you really want to beat those Thunder Dragon players, because Thunder Dragon is probably going to be the best deck of the format, I would definitely say that you play this deck, and maybe also main deck for some hand traps against that specific deck, just so that you do not die, or maybe some other attacks. So, Nekroz Engine. Then other rituals. One Benton to search the to search our Kristya, to search our combo, and also to search some Manjus if you want to, because now we can now due to Mermaid being banned, we can play a little bit more of an rank 4 engine, and rank 4s are pretty underrated when it comes to what they do, and I'll get to it later on in the deck profile. Yeah, and Benton is pretty much required for all the combos. You can loop a lot with her. She's really strong, and Valkyris loves to tribute her to get even more pluses. We play one Saravis, which is our targeting protection. Everyone must know already what this thing does, since back then at the 200th YCS, where the BA deck was featured, playing this card at 3 to stop Widow Anchors. Fortunately, we don't have to deal that much with Widow Anchors anymore, since it got limited on this ban list. And this card will be a little bit more effective in what it does because Sky Striker, for example, if it still is a deck, which I doubt, will have a harder time outing floodgate cards like Nekroz of Unicorn or Archlord Kristya because they have less anchors at their disposal. Then, again, the best card of the deck. The best monster card of the deck is Chalice Slime. You just can, of course, loop around all your incantations and do a lot of nice advantage plays. And it's basically your grind game tool against most decks. And it should be pretty solid. Uh, and you should play 3. If you don't play 3, you're doing something wrong with your deck. Good. This covers all the ritual monsters. Now let's move on to the main deck monsters that are not rituals. One Archlord Kristya, which is our floodgate that we opt to play. We still can do the Vanity's Ruler combos. Those haven't changed. The ones that have changed are the ones that utilize Manju of the 10,000 Hands. I will get into this in another video about how we're going to do this, but it is going to utilize one extra deck card, which is Minerva, the Exalted Lightsworn, or any other generic rank 4 fairy monster. Unfortunately, we do not have a generic Link 2 fairy monster that we can go into, which would have been more optimal and probably would have solved the combo to get it back to idlee Kristya standards. If we get one, this build will change again. Manju, generally a solid card, not just for your Kristya combos, which are now 3-card combos instead of 2.5s. And you still can do your rank 4 stuff. And you can pretty much grind very strongly, and he's a solid top deck. Because if you top deck him, you can basically 1-card play or 2-card play with him, and yeah. Then, of course, the blowout card of the deck, the Unsearchable Blowout, the best normal summonable main monster in this deck is Gale Dogra. Gale Dogra combo has not been hindered at all. Well, actually, a little bit. It's no longer a 1.5 card combo, it's now a 2-card combo. But the 2-card combo is literally if you draw any of the combo pieces, which are Klaus, Brio, Chalice Slime, Benton, and all the ritual cards, and of course everything that searches those cards. It still is really strong. It outs Order. It outs pretty much everything, except for Colossus. But sometimes you even can play around Colossus if, for example, your opponent somehow doesn't have enough Thunder Dragons in their graveyard. For the Incantation engine, we're playing 2 Talismandra, 2 Pensibloom, and 2 Candle. I like the 6 ratio the most because this is the ratio where you draw the least amount of multiples that is still playable. And this ratio is pretty much exactly the amount of cards of the incantations that I loop through in a grind game. You could, of course, play the Bookstone, but I think it is absolutely unneeded because when you get to the part where you need a Bookstone, you usually have your Unicorn Engrave. And if you have your Unicorn Engrave, you can actually use the Pensiplume to recur the Unicorn, and then with Unicorn you can recur your spells. This is, yeah, how you usually do it. I mean, you could still play it, but I do not like it because it mostly bricks. Depending on how Altergeist builds their deck, maybe you should play 1. Now that we're done with the monsters, let's get to the spell cards. Ritual spells, 2 Cycle, 2 Kaleido, one Incantation Inception, and one Nekroz Mirror. You play the mirror for when you go second and want to trish people. For going first, those are the cards that you usually use in the combo, and this is your grinding tool, and you can basically do anything you want to. Um, it is pretty strong in what it does. Also, an honorable mention, a card that I'm currently not playing, but is pretty solid in what it does, is Magician of Dark Chaos Max. You can play this card. I have been playing it in the old version because it has a unique property where you can actually recur your spell cards in the grave. And technically, you could also do you could Azathoth on your turn by summoning him and then tributing him, which also plays around in perm and whatever. And yeah, if he runs over something in battle, you can recur something, which is absolutely broken with our next card that we're going to discuss. And that is Preparation of Rites. Obviously the best spell card in the deck because you can get everything. And if you play him and you open him plus this, what you can do is this can get our Chalice Slime. Then our Chalice Slime gets discards another card to Special Summon Candle, which gets us the Inception. Then we can activate Inception, tributing the Chalice Slime and the candle that is on the field to summon him. Then if we, of course, have a monster, you can tribute one. But if you don't, and your opponent tends to have one monster that you could run over with a 2800 beat stick that is not protected by Dingirsu or whatever, you can recur cards, and you can add one spell card from your graveyard to your hand, and you can add Preparation of Rites. And then after that, you can prep again to search another Chalice Slime and add back the Inception from grave, which allows you to Inception Chalice Slime combo on your next turn. And it's really strong. The changes, we had to take out the idlee, and I took out the Chaos Max for this. We're playing 2 extra Foolish Burials. I at first did not like the card because it does have its problems with Gale Dogra, but with Gale Dogra, if you have Gale Dogra, you usually have combo, and so you will try to resolve the Gale Dogra, and but if you don't have the Gale Dogra, this card will rescue you a lot when it comes to getting the combo off. And also, this is a pretty solid combo together with Manju, plus one of the combo pieces in the Kristya combo with Manju, because this allows you to Azathoth plus gets another search before you summon the Kristya, which makes the Kristya summon completely secure. And of course, also you can out floodgate monsters like Vanity's Fiend with this, but it all depends on how the format shapes up. I do not have an idea how people will react to all this ban list. I still think that Thunder Dragon is going to be the best deck of the format, and then also Luna Light Orchest is going to be still a good deck. Pure Orchest, Altergeist, and Guru are going to be pretty strong decks, and Dark Warriors and Dark Warrior Orchest, which is an absolutely insane deck. And I think also BA will be really strong because of the Malicious. And at last, we're playing 3 Caught by the Graves to negate Ash. And who knows if people decide to play Droll again. But it's mainly there to negate hand traps that kill you. Maybe the worst one would be probably Ghost Bell, because it can negate your your cycles and your mirrors. Yeah, this is the main deck. And for the extra deck, let's start with Exceeds. We're playing Minerva. You could play Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief instead of her, because you're not using her effect. You're using that she is a generic rank 4 fairy, which you can just link away and get your fourth fairy engrave to do to do the Manju combo while only utilizing one Benton, because at first you were doing the Nyarla shuffle, where you actually have to discard one Benton to search one Benton to tribute the second Benton to get your Kristya search. But if you do that and then summon your Brio with the first Benton as a tribute, and then link both away for whatever, you can still you can only play one Benton, which is a horrible top deck compared to extra Foolish Burial. And it will still allow you to do the Kristya combo with four fairies and Manju, which is arguably the strongest combo if it goes off, but it's the hardest to pull off. Other other cards that you need for the combo are those two, Nyarla and Frozen Lady Justice. Those are used in the other combo uh, that you would do. You can variate between those if you want to. And and also you can grind with this by if you would send an Intis, you can literally use Intis twice to pop two cards. And Frozen Lady Justice can destroy defense position monsters, which can come in handy against Guru. And then at last our Azathoth, because we do not like Ogre on our Kristyas. And at last, for our two other generics, we're playing Exciton Knight and number 101. Number 101 can take care of a Titan. And this can take care of whatever. Also, this can take care of Blue Eyes White Dragon, because Blue Eyes White Dragon is actually pretty hard to out, and any other main deck card that has 3000 attack. Now for the links. We're going to play 3. Nightmare Phoenix, the generic spell remover, Psyframe Lord Lambda, and Pentastack. This is the standard lineup. You want to summon Pentastack to get your piercing with Kristya when you do the combo. And piercing on Kristya is pretty solid because it forces your opponent into being aggressive and killing this. Because if he does not kill this, you're killing them no matter how many cards they set. And Psyframe Lord Lambda is the bigger card because he just has 100 more attack. And yeah, nice arrows. And now for the cards that we dump. Elder Entity Intis. This is our tool with Gale Dogra to out Floodgates. Kaleido targets, Brionac, and Red Nova Dragon. You can play any other 6 and 12, but you should play a 6 and you should play a 12. 12 because you want to summon Trish Klaus, which comes up rarely, but it can come up. And this is so important because now Thunder Dragon Pure is a deck again, and one of your main outs to Thunder Dragon is Kaleido plus Unicorn or Brionac. And if you don't have a 6, you cannot summon Brionac to bounce both. Every other Kaleido target except for Herald of the Arclight, which is our combo piece and our main recursion tool, are basically irrelevant. And this is the extra deck how I would play it. You can of course deviate. You can play super polys instead of the ranks, and you can play more links if you want to play Unicorn or something. Side deck, we're playing triple Dark Ruler No More. This card blows out Thunder Dragon. Then we're playing one Shurret in the side deck because we do not directly plan to go second game one. If we go second game one, this still can break us, but it's usually better to just try and break the board with what you got and then set up a Kristya against most decks. It is pretty hard right now going second with Nekroz because I'm going to expect that people will still love to play Order and still love to play the combo decks with Apollousa, which will just negate every search that you ever make. Then for our back row hate, we're playing triple Dengoseka because you can side out your Manjus for this and then just destroy them. And triple evenly matched because it has synergy with the other Necroz with Trishula. So you can basically board wipe them plus hand loop them for one plus banish a graveyard resource. Those 10 cards are exchangeable with give me a moment. With basically the full Kristya engine, which wants to play this and your Cyber Angel Benton. So those are 10 cards that you main deck right now and completely can side out depending on how you want it, or just main deck out and put this whole engine into the side. You can play a blind second Nekroz list with those cards because those cards have a combination of those twos can board wipe someone usually. And for other side deck cards, you can play some other cards. You can play Nibiru or Lancea maybe even. But I personally play Sphere Mode in case Thunder Dragon overcommits. I play one Zephyr Saber because some decks like Luna Light Orchid still like to abuse Curious, which should have been a banned card in my opinion because it is not future-proof whatsoever. And this will allow you to play through Order by having it in the deck because you could search it with Brionac. It's a very weird tool to deal with it, but it's better than nothing. And then at last you want to play one MST because you cannot deal with Mystic Mine without playing one. And if someone would play Orchid with Mystic Mine, for example, then you have to play one and side one in just in case they open the Mystic Mine, and then then you have to hope that they don't draw a second one. So this is the deck and how it looks like currently. If I have any changes, if I find a new combo, I'm going to instantly make a video on it. If you have any questions, except for the combo, because I'm going to release a video on the changes to the Manju combo, please ask them in the comment section. And I wish you a good new format. See you later, guys.